You made loads of money, more than you ever dreamed of. But there's a problem. This isn't money you made working a 9 to 5. No, this money comes from a darker place. And if the cops find out, you're toast. So what do? You clean it. You make it look like you earned it fair and square. Let's paint a picture. You've dipped your fingers into some heavy-duty crimes. Guns, narcotics, high-stake robberies, insider trading. You're living a life straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. Sounds glamorous, right? But there's a catch. All this wealth, all these fancy toys, they need some serious dough. And not the kind that you've stashed away in old suitcases or buried in your backyard. No, this needs to be money that doesn't raise red flags with the boys in blue. Because here's the deal. If you recklessly use your ill-gotten gains to live large, you're gonna get noticed. Not by fans or paparazzi, but by 3-letter agencies like the FBI, IRS, or the DEA. And trust me, these folks aren't knocking on your door for autographs. So you find yourself on a tightrope. On one side, there's a mountain of cash that you can't use. On the other, a lifestyle you've dreamed of, but can't afford without your illegal earnings. Now isn't that a conundrum? What you need is a magic trick. You need to turn this dirty money into clean money. But how do you do that? How do you do that without attracting the wrong kind of attention? It's all about making sure your dollar bills don't have a questionable past. It's all about giving them an air of respectability. The question is, how do you pull this magic trick off? You've probably heard the saying, money makes the world go round. Well, when it comes to our little get-rich-quick scenario, this rings even truer. But the trick is making it look like your money was earned through blood, sweat, and tears, not some back alley deal. This is where the magic happens. Laundering money isn't as easy as popping your dirty clothes in the washer. This is a high-stakes game of deceit, a careful dance to keep prying eyes off your pile of illegal cash. This dance has 3 steps: placement, layering, and integration. Let's begin with placement. You've gotten a mountain of cash from illicit activities. Now what do? You start by introducing this money into the financial system. This could be as simple as depositing the cash into a bank account, buying assets, or even gambling. But remember, this is a dance. You have to be careful not to step on anyone's toes. Banks, as you might guess, aren't that easy to fool. If you're moving large amounts of cash too quickly, it's like sending out a red alert. So the key here is to be patient and strategic. Next, we move on to layering. This is where things get a bit tricky. Layering is like playing the world's riskiest game of hide and seek. You're moving money around, making countless transactions, changing forms, creating a web of financial activity so complex that it makes the original source of the money nearly impossible to trace. It's like creating an intricate puzzle, where each piece is a transaction that, on its own, might seem insignificant, but together they hide the bigger picture, your pile of dirty money. Finally, we arrive at integration. This is where now, your dirty money gets its glow up. It's been cleaned, scrubbed of its dubious past, and can now be introduced into the economy. This could be through an investment, buying property, even starting a new venture. By this point, the money trail is so convoluted, so lost in the web of transactions, that it seems like your wealth just appeared out of thin air, as if by magic. But let me warn you, while this might sound like a foolproof plan, it's a risky dance. One misstep and you could find yourself in a whole world of trouble. Now that we've established how you can make your money dance around the system, we move on to another important player, the money mules. They're not carrying bags of money on their backs, but they are an integral part to the process of moving money around without attracting attention. Money mules are often everyday people like you and me, roped into the money laundering process, sometimes even without their knowledge. They could be an unsuspecting victim who clicked on an online job posting, a retired individual looking for a side income, or even a student trying to make a quick buck. Once they're in, they're asked to transfer money, received into their bank accounts, to another account. Simple, right? But there's a catch. The money they're moving is usually dirty, part of a larger laundering scheme. The mules are then asked to transfer the money in small accounts, often less than $10,000 to avoid detection. This technique, known as smurfing, makes it harder for banks to identify suspicious activities. It's a critical role in the grand scheme of money laundering, and one that can trap innocent people. But you know what they say, there's more than one way to clean a dollar bill, and one of these methods takes us offshore. Some have turned to offshore banking, not for the sunny beaches or palm trees, but for something a bit more private. When it comes to dealing with dodging money, a low profile is your best friend. Offshore banks, often located in places known as tax havens, can provide just that. They offer the seclusion you need, a shadowy corner in the world of finance where you can park your wealth under layers of secrecy. Take Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, or Panama as examples. These places have a rep for their tight-lipped banking laws. For our modern-day outlaw, an account in one of these locales might appear as a perfect hiding spot. The money sits comfortably far away from the home country's legal grasp and even earns a touch of interest while it's at it. But we're not stopping there. To add another layer of confusion, some might establish a shell company, a company that exists only on paper. It's all smoke and mirrors. This company, it's like a ghost. No operations, no assets, nothing. Yet it provides an excellent facade to hide behind. Here's how it works. You create this ghost company and feed your dirty money into its account. Now, the cash doesn't look like it's illicit earnings. Instead, it's income generated by a business. You could even go as far as setting up this ghost company in a different part of the world. A tiny office in Switzerland, a P.O. box in the Cayman Islands, or even in Delaware, right under Uncle Sam's nose. The idea is the same. Create a corporate smokescreen to blur out where the money came from. But why stop there? Why not add more mirrors to this fun house? Limited liability companies, or LLCs. These structures are like your armor, shielding you from the liabilities of the company. LLC owners can be anyone, other corporations, other LLCs, or even foreign entities. You're adding layers upon layers of separation between you and your illicit gains, making the money trail even more challenging to follow. But hold on, there's more. You've heard of trusts and holdings, right? Trusts are like personalized banks where you give control of your assets to a trustee and they manage it for a beneficiary of your choice. But in our story, the assets we have a dark origin. The trust helps you build another layer of disconnect, making it even more convoluted to trace the money back to you. And let's not even start on holdings. These are companies that own massive shares, allowing them to have control of the company. Imagine your ex's makeup, each layer making the dirty money look cleaner. But keep in mind, this isn't a foolproof plan. The gatekeepers of the financial world are getting smarter, regulations are tightening, and the international collaborations are increasing. So while today you might feel like you're walking through the shadows unnoticed, tomorrow could be a different story. The game of hide and seek continues. So you've got your shell companies, LLCs, and trust funds, but the world is evolving, and you've heard of something called Bitcoin. It's a digital currency existing only in the ether and can be used for online transactions, kind of like internet cash. But what really piques your interest is the anonymity associated with it. No real names, no credit checks, no proof of address, just a long string of numbers and letters. A masquerade ball for financial transactions. Here's how the digital laundry could look for you. You buy Bitcoins with your dirty money. It could be through online exchanges, peer-to-peer transactions, or even Bitcoin ATMs, which have started popping up around the world. You transfer them into a digital wallet. This wallet isn't connected to your name or any other personal information. Picture a virtual black box. Now comes the tricky part. Making it look like these coins are clean. This is where you use something called a mixing service or tumbler. Imagine it as a digital washing machine. You throw your coins in along with those from millions of fellow Bitcoin users. The tumbler whirls it around, mixes it up, and then sends different Bitcoins back to the owners. The idea is that the Bitcoins you get out are not the same ones you put in, breaking the link between you and your dirty money. Now you've got Bitcoins that look clean. You can use them to buy products and services online, or you can even convert them back into regular currency using an online exchange. Just like that, your illicit gains have gone through a rinse cycle and look fresh as a daisy on the surface. However, one scratch on this high-tech solution and the authorities are catching up. Blockchain, the technology behind Bitcoin, is transparent and immutable. Every transaction is recorded for everyone to see, and it can't be deleted or altered, so it's only a matter of time before the cops trace the Bitcoins back to their origin. Imagine you've successfully laundered your cash. You've danced around the law, played the system, and for a moment, it feels like you've got the world fooled. But like in any good heist movie, there's always a twist. Now, let's turn the tables. Let's wear the hats of the detectives, hot on the trail of the cunning criminal. You see, to evade the law, you must first know how the law thinks. So let's play detective, shall we? From this viewpoint, the criminal seems less cunning, less invincible. As an authority, you're not easily outwitted. With a razor-sharp mind and a toolkit full of strategies, you're a formidable opponent. Forget about the money trail, you're profiling behaviors, picking up patterns, and utilizing state-of-the-art technology to bring these wrongdoers to justice. Enter the Bank Secrecy Act, your partner in crime prevention. Any transaction above $10,000 must be reported, no exceptions. Small frequent transactions won't slide by either. Trying to fly under the radar with numerous small deposits? That triggers a red flag called smurfing. The financial world has no room for hide and seek. Your next ally, the forensic accountant, is always ready for a hunt. They dive into the mountains of financial records, sifting out any anomalies. Their intuitive insights are often the keys to uncovering laundering schemes that may be hiding in plain sight. Then there's the crown jewel of your toolkit, artificial intelligence. With advanced AI and machine learning algorithms at your disposal, detecting suspicion patterns, among with millions of transactions daily, becomes a task more manageable than ever. In this game of cat and mouse, you're always a few steps ahead. You anticipate each move, each strategy, and are ready to pounce when they least expect it. After all, the game's not just about chasing, it's about checkmate. Well, that brings us to the end of our thrilling journey through the underworld of money laundering. We've weaved in and out of the law, danced a tango with danger, and dipped our toes into the world of high-stake financial maneuvers. But remember, all of this is just a look into the wild side, not a playbook. The allure of the fast life can be tempting, but nothing beats the feeling of earning your wealth fair and square in the light of day. After all, the ones who truly enjoy the good life are not the ones who constantly look over their shoulders, but those who sleep well at night. If you've had as much fun on this ride as I have, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Stay tuned for more explorations into the corners of our world that few dare to venture into. And remember to drop any thoughts, questions, or suggestions for our next video in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay on the right side of the law.